I'm Morgan Fiddle. I go to Robertsville Middle School. I am on the web design team for TSA. Um, I'm working on a web page for 3D printing. And so, what is your job and how is 3D printing used?
My job is I work as a consultant in the 3D printing industry, and so I work with service bureaus and rapid prototyping services and really focus on how to streamline their processes and make them a lot more efficient.
How did you become interested in 3D printing?
I was in high school. I was Project Lead the Way course, which is mechanical engineering focus is what that program was at the time. And we were probably one of the first schools in the nation to have a commercial grade 3D printer, and they really gave us all access, especially their senior year, to using that equipment, and I've pretty much been hooked ever since.
So, what sort of materials have you 3D printed with, like various metals and plastics?
Sure. So I've 3D printed in ABS, plastic, PLA, nylons, rubbers. I've 3D printed in pure silvers. I've 3D printed in golds and platinums. I've also 3D printed in titanium as well as chromium, which is a really interesting metal to do some printing with.
What is the coolest thing that you've ever 3D printed?
Coolest thing I've ever 3D printed was jewelry. I was able to make a really unique piece that was one of a kind for somebody I really cared about. It's also just one of the coolest things that you can 3D print, I think. There's really some unique advantages. You can create something that is not only unique in the way that it is, but it's actually uniquely sized and fitted for somebody, so it's really special.
So, what did you have to study in order to get this job, and what was like the hardest part about it?
Sure. So I study mechanical and electrical engineering, but also, when it comes to courses and things, some of the most important side of courses that I took were design classes, and so some of those were very mathematics oriented. They're very engineering based classes, CAD modeling, things like that. But then there were some other things like sculpting and things like that that really help you understand 3D space and kind of designing, spatial understanding, basically. Some of the most difficult part of that is wrapping your head around really just imagining what the unique advantages are of 3D printing and how you can take advantage of them in designing in that way. It's great to be able to design, but to design for 3D printing is really unique.
So, what's your favorite part of 3D printing?
My favorite thing about 3D printing probably has to be the unique opportunities that additive opens you up to. So for instance, there's designs and things out there that exist that could not have been manufactured before additive technology existed, just due to the geometries of the parts. And now we can manufacture those things. And it also allows us to think really differently about how we design our products. Instead of thinking about what's the easiest way to make something the cheapest that can be manufactured, the most simpler, we can start to think about what is the best possible way to make this and the lightest weight possible way to do this, the most material efficient use. And it allows you to leverage other key targets aside from cost. So for instance, you might be able to design something where it's more expensive to manufacture this part of the engine. However, when you consider that it affects 17 other parts in the engine and the wear on those parts over time, it actually costs less money to manufacture using a more expensive process. So distinct, unique opportunities like that.